Hey everybody, it's Kory. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your tongue and pull it out of your mouth. Just like that. And then once you pull your tongue out of your mouth, I want you to say the word a-hole, only I want you to say the real word. So follow along. Here we go. Pull your tongue out of your mouth and say Athol. 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 Did you hear it? Athol. It sounds like a really bad word, but it's actually a really cool town here in North Idaho, and we're about to take a look at it. Let's get to it.
Let's talk Athol. So obviously you've got Idaho here. Athol is up in North Idaho. As we zoom in, North Idaho is the 5 northernmost counties in Idaho. That is, let me just adjust the screen here. Here's your 5 northernmost counties. It starts up here by Canada. You got Boundary, Bonner, Kootenai, Shoshone, and Benewah. Kootenai being the home of Coeur and also of Athol. So let's zoom into Athol. And the cool thing about Athol is it's in the middle of everything. As we kind of put Athol in the middle of the screen, you're going to notice that it is right here in this valley. You've got mountains to the west, mountains to the east, and look at all the water that's around Athol. Over here you've got Lake Pend Oreille, and as you go south from Athol, you've got Hayden Lake, Coeur d'Alene. Over on the west side, you've got the Twin Lakes, Spirit Lake, and all this water is no more than a half hour away. In fact, if you're in Athol, Lake Pend Oreille, Spirit Lake, and Twin Lakes, those are all within 5 to 10 minutes of you. So if you like fishing, kayaking, boating, you've got that. And then all this green area is national forest. Now, I'm going to show you something really cool about North Idaho here. We're going to go over here to the base map, and we're going to adjust it to satellite. I want to show you something. We're going to zoom out a little bit more just so we can see the panhandle area. And then North Idaho, remember the 5 counties of North Idaho here. So going over to our administrative layers, I'm going to show you state and federal land management. Now I want you to watch the map over here as I turn on the state and federal land management map. Watch. Okay, you see that? 2/3 of the land mass in North Idaho is state and federal land. 2/3. So that's all land that's not going to be developed into homes. It's all land that we play on. And that is only North Idaho. And then as you go into Montana, about a third, the first third of Montana, western Montana, is all national forest as well. So we've got all that land to play in. And when it comes to Athol, you can see it interfaces all that state and federal land. So that's why people really enjoy living in Athol. Give you a different map here. You can see this is the zip code area of Athol. So if you're looking on your real estate applications and you're looking at homes and has the address of Athol, it could be anywhere in this red area. And to give you your bearing again, you're here. Athol is about a half hour south of Sandpoint, so Sandpoint to the north, and then a half hour to the south of Athol is Coeur d'Alene. And then about a 45-minute to an hour drive to the west, southwest, is Spokane. And a lot of people who live in Athol that are still working work either in Spokane or Coeur d'Alene. So it's really a great location if you guys want rural land that still has the ability to have work. Most people will work in Coeur d'Alene or Spokane. Now, to go back to our map, I'm going to turn off the satellite and go back to the topographical map. I want to point a couple things out here. So a lot of you say, hey, I want to live on some land that's close to public land, national forest, or state land. And we already showed you how most of everything to the right of the screen here is all national forest. So when you guys say, I want property that backs up to the national forest, in Athol, that's this area right here. So Highway 95 runs right up the middle of the panhandle. And then the land that we can have homes on is right here in Athol at the base of the national forest. So again, that's the area that we're looking in here if you guys want to be close to the National Forest. But you could be anywhere in Athol right here and be 5 to 10 minutes from the National Forest. And then over here on the west side, even though a lot of this land is not state or federal land, it's owned by timber companies, whether it's Inland Paper or Stimson Lumber, and they let you recreate on their land as well with permits, and there's certain stipulations about what you can and can't do. But nevertheless, there's plenty of room to get outside and play. Okay, so that's Athol, and that's the areas where we're going to be driving around today. We're going to be driving around in the car just to show you everything here. So let's get to it. Okay, so on the morning we recorded this video, it was February 13th, 2020, and you can see there was very little snow left on the valley floor here. The temperature the morning we recorded this was about 38, 39 degrees. It was 11 in the morning, the time you're seeing the video here. And as you can see, the morning fog was just burning off as we leave Hayden and enter Athol.
So behind me, Silverwood Theme Park, also Boulder Mountain Water Park. It's a very popular place to come, starting Memorial Day all the way through the end of Halloween, where they have Scarywood Theme Park. All right, take a look.
Okay, so now we're heading eastbound on Bunko Road, and we're going to take this road for about 4 miles, and when we get to the end, it'll be the National Forest entry. Enjoy as the fog burns off. So by now I can hear you guys out there asking this question. Kory, where are the properties out here where I can live? Well, that's the beauty of Athol. Right now you're 20 minutes to downtown Coeur d'Alene, and there's not a lot of properties out here. Traditionally, this has been cattle land and timberland, and when something gets sold maybe by a rancher, keep in mind you can't put properties in here under 5 acres. Out in the rural areas, it's 5 acres and up. So where you see a mailbox, that's a property. Where you don't see a mailbox, we call that North Idaho. Okay, we're almost to the end of this road and be coming up on the entry to the National Forest.
So here we are on the dead end of Bunko Road. It's about as far east in Athol as you can go before you run into the National Forest. In fact, the trail right behind me is the trailhead into the Panhandle National Forest for snowmobiles right now. It's also the main entrance into the woods for any other vehicles when it's not snowy on those trails. Interesting note is this snowmobile trail is one of the best in the country, and when we actually have snow on it, unlike here in the middle of February, that trail is actually groomed by a snowcat groomer, just like you see on the ski slopes. So anyway, National Forest entrance right here in Athol. Let's carry on.
Okay, so we are right now northbound on Good Hope Road. And to your left and to your right, these are all residential lots in here. They range anywhere from 5 acres all the way up to 20 acres. And as we said earlier in the video, if you want to live on rural land that backs up to the National Forest in Athol, this is that area. And right here, we are entering Farragut State Park. And we're not gonna go too far into here. In fact, I'm gonna turn around up here. And we'll do another video on Farragut State Park when the park is open. Right now it's closed. It won't open up until Memorial Day. But if you were to keep going on this road right here, it'd run you into Bayview, the city of Bayview. So we're gonna head back into Athol now and head over to the Super One Supermarket. And you'll go through this little turnstile. I don't know what they call these, whoop-de-doos, whatever they are. We're starting to get more and more of these out here in the rural area. But anyway, we are now heading westbound on Highway 54 towards Spirit Lake. We're still in Athol, and a lot of the properties that you're going to find are still on the left and on the right.
So behind me is the new Super One supermarket. Super One is a local North Idaho chain. It's owned by a local family and one of the more popular supermarket chains that we have here. And what's nice about this here on the edge of Athol now, prior to it going in last March, the people in Athol had to go into Coeur Lane to get most of their needs, which is about a half hour south of here. So with this new supermarket, and then also inside there is a new Ace Hardware, it's really convenient for the people that live here in Athol to get their immediate needs without having to go into Coeur Lane or Sandpoint. All right, let's carry on.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for. This is the town of Athol. Not a stop sign, not a stop light. If you blink, you'll miss it. But who needs stoplights when you have trains? That's right, Athol, like many towns in North Idaho, has a train running right through it. You see, traditionally this has been a lumber town. In fact, we're going through one of the lumber yards right now. Those lumber yards load their inventory onto the train and it goes out throughout the world. And in case you missed it, we're going to double back and show you Athol at about 80 miles an hour. Here we go.
And here we are in Athol. Behind me, my favorite place to eat here in Athol, the Country Boy Cafe. If you guys are ever in Athol, stop by. It's a great diner, great hamburgers, great breakfast, and their quantity of food is awesome. So again, Country Boy Cafe, let's keep going.
Okay, we're going to jump back onto Highway 95. We're heading north now. If you were going another 2 hours, we would run into Canada. And again, Coeur Lane is about a half hour behind us. We're just now crossing over the border of Kootenai County and into Bonner County. Athol's kind of unique in that it crosses over into two different counties. So right as we get up ahead here, we're going to make a right-hand turn and go into another residential neighborhood.
Okay, so this is typical what you're going to see in Athol. More than half the roads in Athol are dirt roads, and what you see behind me is a blue street sign. A blue street sign is an indicator of a private road. Green street signs are indicators of county or city maintained roads. Out here, if it's green, it's county maintained. If it's blue, it's you. That's a private road. So give you an example. I'm going to spin you around here. This is a typical county road that is privately maintained here in Athol. You can see it's gravel. Right now it's middle of February. The road's going to need to be regraded here at the end of winter. But this is a typical dirt road situation that you have here in the unincorporated county rural areas. And these are the type of roads that you're going to be driving on in most of your properties that you live on here in Athol. So let's go ahead and continue on. And I'm going to spend a little time on this road so that you guys can see, you know, what a rural road looks like that the people that live on it have to maintain. So on a private maintained road, the way you maintain these roads is the people pitch in. I think in this neighborhood they pitch in about $100 a year. They hire a private company that plows out snow every time it gets like 3 inches or more. And then they give them a grade once a year, and then the homeowners all have to pitch in and pay for gravel when it's time to re-gravel the road. So that's what it looks like to have a private maintained road. And you can see they get pretty slushy here in the late winter, early spring when they get wet. So when you ask why are rural properties more affordable, it's because of roads like this. They're generally not a problem. If you have four-wheel drive in the winter, you can get in and out of them. But you can see it's not like a city maintained road in town. We're going to go up this road here. This is a house that we had put under contract, and this is a typical 5-acre property with a house on it. Okay, so we're gonna move forward here in time. We're heading south now on Highway 95. To the right is Silverwood Theme Park. You see the roller coasters there. Getting off on Bruner Road. Making a left here onto Bruner. And again, this is kind of the middle of Athol. And we're going over the train tracks and into a rural area of Athol that these are all 5 and 10 acre little mini ranches. A lot of equestrian and cows out here. Those of you that want to have a mini homestead, it's typically what we find out here. Homes on 5 to 10 acres. Most of the homes out here are going to be 500,000 and up on their acreage. Making a right here onto Clagstone and heading north again towards Canada. Just want to give you a view of what Athol looks like out here in the rural area. Real nice paved road here. And we're going to make a left up here on Seasons Road. A lot of new growth going in on this area. To the left, a lot of 5-acre new homes. 3 years ago, these homes started at about $350,000, and now they are about $450 to $550 to build a pretty nice house on 5 acres. Again, if you guys want information on that, let us know and we can get information on that. So you're going to notice more snow, and there's a reason for it. We are now about 500 feet up off the valley floor. And we are also closer to Rathdrum Mountain. As we're traveling south here on Weir Road, out to the right is Rathdrum Mountain. And here in North Idaho, we get most of our weather pattern from the Pacific. And as that weather pattern comes from the Pacific and dips over Rathdrum Mountain, which is this area here, the clouds stall out a little bit and dump almost twice the snow that you will see in Coeur d'Alene. So we call that the snow belt, and parts of Athol are in the snow belt. So we're turning left here onto Ramsey Road, and we're going to head into one of our newer developments called Lone Mountain up ahead.
Okay, we just turned onto Massive Road. This is the main entry into Lone Mountain Estates. And you can see there's a lot of construction going on in here. Again, these are all 5-acre parcels. And we're going to pull over up here and I'll talk to you a little bit more about this development.
Okay, so we're here at Lone Mountain Estates. This is, again, here in Athol. These are developments built by a builder called Timbered Ridge. And what they do, this is the typical style of building that you're seeing here in Athol. You cannot subdivide below 5 acres out here in the rural area. And as a result, developers that want to build in the area have to build on 5-acre lots. And this is one of the more popular builders out here, Timbered Ridge. And again, the road I'm on is Massive Road, and it's out here. What Timbered Ridge does is they build about 45 homes a year. And behind me you can see already in the middle of February here, they're clearing a road. That's where their next development is going to be. And the way it works is you pick a lot, they give you a couple floor plans to pick from, and then you're able to pick the floor plan, the colors, the granite, whatever it is that you want in those homes. And this particular builder will actually modify the home, obviously for a cost, but it's as close as you're going to get to custom building without the high cost of custom, because this builder here does, again, 45 homes a year. They're able to batch all their builds and keep the cost down. So it's a good medium for those of you that want to build homes but don't want to go through the unknowns and the expense of building a custom home. And as you can see, this is just a beautiful area. Again, Lone Mountain Estates out here in Athol. Builder is Timbered Ridge. And there's a couple developments out here like this. And if you guys are interested in this kind of stuff, we can get you information on it. You can find our link and give us a call or email us and we'll get you information on it. So for example, on a 5-acre lot right now out here, you're looking at about a $500,000 build for the typical home that they're building. And I'll give you an example over here of what they build. It's a Northwest craftsman style home, generally about 2,000 square feet. They build them with 2- and 3-car garages, bonus room above the garage. But yeah, this is the development out here, and there's a bunch of them out here in Athol, and that's the type of growth that we're seeing. So, all right, let's get back at it.
Okay, as we wind down the video here, I'm going to slow down and let you see some of these new homes that have been built out here on these 5-acre lots. Again, this is Lone Mountain. If you guys have questions about this development or any other development, get a hold of us. Incidentally, this is also an example of a tour that we do provide. If you guys are interested in taking a tour with us, where you can ask your questions in real time while we do this, look us up. Thanks for following. Bye now.